for joining us here today on Halton News. It's Wednesday, June 24th, and I'm Jessica Kading. 3 new active cases of COVID-19 have been reported in Halton since yesterday, but there have also been 5 recoveries, so that brings our total number of active cases to 67. Breaking those numbers down by region, you can see that there are currently 24 active cases in Burlington, 18 in Oakville, 17 in Milton, and 7 in Halton Hills. There is 1 additional reported case not yet assigned to a municipality. A 52-year-old female cyclist was struck by a vehicle today while crossing the eastbound on-ramp to the QEW at 3rd Line. This happened around 8:40 this morning, and unfortunately, she is now deceased. 3rd Line was closed between Wycroft and North Service Road today for the Collision Reconstruction Unit's investigation. Any witnesses are asked to call 905-825-4747. Yesterday, we showed this footage that surfaced on social media over the weekend showing 4 Halton police officers in an Oakville plaza. One of the officers can be seen pushing down, shoving and throwing a backpack at a young man, while the other officers appear to be standing around watching. There is no audio, however, and the matter is under investigation. Halton Police Chief Stephen Tanner joined us here on Halton News yesterday and assured the community that a thorough criminal investigation is being conducted, and investigators are now asking any witnesses or those that may have additional video footage of the interaction to come forward. The incident was believed to have occurred in April of this year. If you have any footage or information, you're asked to call 905-825-4747, extension 2416. Oakville's Mayor Rob Burton is the chair of the Halton Police Board, and in the latest episode of Oakville Matters, he describes when he first learned of that video on Sunday afternoon. He's joined by Councillor Sandhu, who is a lawyer, and also shares her reactions.
Around 4:30, I became aware of that horrible video of the police officer pushing and shoving the young man, and 3 other officers appearing to stand around and do nothing. And so there's been, you go from the height to the low. You're happy one moment, and the next moment you're just as angry as you know how to be at all of that, because it's so undisciplined, unprofessional, and it's a direct, blatant contradiction of our policies and standards on the use of force. It may be that the young man was not an angel, but nothing justifies that treatment. Nothing.
Totally.
I'm very glad that the police chief suspended the one officer who blatantly betrayed his duty. And I'm actually pretty glad that he's waiting for more information to find out, to decide what to do about the other 3, because that video had no audio. And so you don't really know whether they're, being silent. You don't know if they're egging the guy on. You don't know if they're trying to calm him and stop him. And so it's in a time like that that you really want to wait to lead to judgment, I think, if you want to be responsible. So we will wait to see the results.
No, I think you're totally right. It was shocking and disturbing, extremely disappointing, and I think you hit all the nails on the right heads when you talked about how appropriate it is to have the immediate suspension. I think some of the things that a lot of folks don't understand about the law is that sometimes things are set in a certain way, and we have to move within the guidelines and the goalposts of that law. And specifically to things that happen with police, at least in Ontario, the Police Services Act prevents the police and Halton Regional Police from suspending somebody without pay. That's just how it is right now. There's nothing that Chief Tanner can do to change that. So I think that it's really important that folks understand that, and folks read that statement from Chief Tanner so that they have that additional context as well.
That full episode of Oakville Matters airs on Wednesday at 7:30 right here on your TV. A massage therapist working in Burlington has just been arrested and charged with 1 count of sexual assault, but police believe there may be additional victims. 53-year-old Dominic Carrasco has been charged with assaulting a massage client in February of this year. If you have any information related to this matter, please call Detective Keith Nakahara of the Child Abuse and Sexual Assault Unit at 905-825-4747, extension 8980. Police are also investigating a hate crime after a report of vandalism at St. Vladimir Ukrainian Orthodox Church in Oakville. One of the monuments in the cemetery was spray painted sometime between Friday, June 19th and Sunday, June 21st. Due to the nature of the graffiti, police are calling this a hate-motivated offense. If you have any information that could help officers find those responsible, please call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. A Halton Catholic District School Board is relieved to finally have a name for the former Jean Vanier High School in Milton. Melissa Candelaria reports.
It's official. Come September, students will be returning to this school in Milton that has been renamed St. Francis Xavier Secondary School. The Diocese of Hamilton's bishop approved the name, which was brought back before the Halton Catholic District School Board last week. Milton trustee Patrick Murphy says now all the work to rebrand the former Jean Vanier School can begin.
As you can imagine, there's quite a bit of work to be done. Signage on the school, all the administrative things that are associated with that, the football field, the gymnasium floor, all of those things have to be done. Talking to the uniform suppliers and creating the logo and all of those things that are it's quite a volume of work, but it's exciting work, and it's something that the school council, the parent councils, and the administration are going to all be involved in and come to a collaborative consensus on exactly what that is.
Murphy also says they're going to build on the school's current identity.
They're going to build on the existing mascot, which is the knight, and the colors more than likely will stay the same, which are purple and black. And it'll be an enhancement of what already has been established and built and nurtured over the last few years. So it's quite an exciting time. We went from a very dark time in February when the announcement came out and the shock that everybody was in and the dismay, to now to a very positive time where we're going to start the new year with a new logo, new name, fresh beginning, building on our already established legacy.
So how much is all this going to cost? Murphy says it's not clear at this point, but the money will be coming out of their general funds.
It couldn't be planned for. It's an unexpected event. So it will come out of our general funds. We don't have the hard numbers as of yet. We've sent out for tenders to repaint the gymnasium floor, refinish and repaint the logo on the floor, as well as the football field. We don't have those numbers now. It will be in the thousands of dollars. The exact number I can't speculate, but we should know that within the next month or so.
Reporting for Cogeco News, I'm Melissa Candelaria.
In Oakville, an inspiring high school student recently received recognition for his efforts in the community over the last 5 years with one of 20 TD scholarships for community leadership. Nikki Wesley has that story.
Oakville's Nicholas Rampurt was recently awarded the TD Scholarship for Community Leadership for his work teaching robotics.
I was one of the top 20 TD scholars out of all of Canada, out of all 2,700 applicants. I was doing online school, as you do in these days. And it was crazy. It was freaking out. We obviously couldn't celebrate as we wanted to, but it was still awesome.
All his community outreach was inspired by his love for robotics and STEM.
So I started robotics about 5-6 years ago. I started with Lego robotics. And so I started teaching at my local robotics club there, just, teaching grade 2s and 3s.
He enjoyed sharing his passion and began teaching at the Oakville Library. He simultaneously worked with his team to become international champions in 2018.
Watching a robotics match with thousands of people around you is really exhilarating. Being in the spotlight, it was cool. So, we got to do that 2 years in a row, and that was really cool. As of high school, I kind of wanted to branch off from that and kind of start doing my own things and doing my own initiatives to make an impact both in my community and my school. So,
while competing internationally, he'd already begun teaching patients at a rehabilitation hospital in East York.
I got the opportunity to teach at Halton Learview, and it's not every day that you get to teach kids with both mental and physical disabilities. So to get this opportunity was really cool, and it's really awesome to see the gears turning in their head. Even though they might not seem like they're capable of these things, they have a lot of capability and they're able to do a lot of creative things that I wouldn't have even thought of.
Rampurt used this experience to create a new club at his high school, Holy Trinity Catholic Secondary School.
Through that, I started my own program at my high school called Best Buddies Robotics, where I actually teach the special needs kids at my school's Lego robotics. So bringing the actual concepts into the classroom. You know, we have our own robotics team at school, and that's great, but they're not really a part of that. So I wanted to bring that to them. You know, these kids don't get that opportunity to have that hands-on experience. So it was really important for me to be able to include them, to give them that experience that I got to have. They were always excited, you know, they got to build, play with Lego, actually see their Lego come to life and start moving around, as well as even start programming. So they don't get to program usually. So being able to move the robot around using like an iPad is really cool for them.
Rampurt will be heading to the University of Waterloo this fall to study mechatronics.
I mean, I've been working with kids with both mental and physical disabilities, so I'm hoping to maybe create something that might help them. So over the past couple of years, I've seen a lot of kids struggle with communicating as well as dealing with technology who have these kinds of disabilities. So everyone has their different disabilities. Every kid is unique, but if I could create something that might help a couple kids or more kids at a lower cost than what we've been using, it would be really awesome. And through mechatronics, I'm hoping that I can get the skill set to do all of that.
Reporting for Halton News, I'm Nikki Wesley.
When schools closed in March, Food for Kids had to modify the way they help to feed children. The executive director, Gala, explains how they kept hungry tummies full and a new fundraising initiative that they had.
In regular times, I say we, but our volunteers pack healthy bags of food, which gets delivered to schools on Friday mornings, so children have food for the weekend. That bag is discreetly tucked into their backpack, and they go home with food for the weekend. But as soon as COVID hit, we had to really pivot and change. So right now we're sending home grocery gift cards so that kids can continue to eat. We had to cancel our major fundraiser in June. So instead, our fundraising team brainstormed and came up with the idea of a bottle drive. And so yesterday was our first day where we collected bottles between 1 and 5. And oh my goodness, the warehouse is completely, well, not completely, but almost filled. We had to get one of our wonderful supporters that is going to be bringing his truck. It's the right move. And he's going to be picking up bottles tomorrow morning so we could free some space for Thursday's drop off. So we're just ecstatic that the community has stepped up and supported us. It's a great way to clear out garages and backyards or wherever and raise some money for Food for Kids.
Still ahead, the Cogeco Entrepreneur of the Year in Oakville and a look ahead to tonight's awards gala in Burlington. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Halton News. Working as a team is sometimes underestimated, but a local psychiatrist explains the importance.
Hi, this is Dr. Ashok Bhattacharya at the Empathy Clinic here in Oakville during the pandemic. Today I want to talk about team effort. So human beings are tribal, which means that we have complementary skills that help each other. And each person in that tribe is a valuable member of the tribe. Whether we're at home, we're at work, in a relationship, you'll find that you have a part in that team. So do you remember when we had that jam jar that nobody could get open and everyone has a go at it? And finally, Granny in the corner usually is the one that just turns that lid and off it comes. So why does that happen? That happens because everybody's effort matters and played a part in helping to get that lid off. So remember that when you're on a team, your effort matters, so does everybody else's. So when that lid finally comes off, thank your team, but also thank yourself. And don't forget to enjoy the jam. See you next time, and be safe.
Taking a look over at the Oakville Harbor on this beautiful but hot and rainy day. We've had the gamut today. 40% chance that rain will continue. Much of the same tomorrow, reaching a high of 25 degrees, muggy temperatures expected, a lot of humidity, a mix of sun and clouds, even hotter on Friday. Those clouds will clear overnight, revealing full sunshine all the way up to 27 degrees. 60% chance of rain expected for Saturday, and then Sunday, those clouds will clear up again, bringing bright sunshine and 28 degrees. The Oakville Chamber of Commerce and Rotary Club of Oakville West hosted the 25th Annual Oakville Awards for Business Excellence live last night on Facebook. We'd like to congratulate all of the winners, and here now we'll feature the Cogeco Entrepreneur of the Year winner, Maria Robertson of the New Mummy Company.
Wow, this is a really great honor to be presented with the Entrepreneur of the Year award. When I was first nominated and the Chamber told me that I'd been nominated, I never for 1 minute expected to be nominated, let alone win. So a very big thank you to the Chamber and for the nomination. I really appreciate it. I want to say thank you to my team who have been instrumental in helping us build the business. My staff are wonderful, and without them, we would not be here today. I also want to say a very big thank you to my husband, who has been so supportive in all of my career over the past 20 years. So without you, this probably wouldn't be happening either. And I also want to thank our clients, both locally across Canada and internationally. Without you, there would be no Mummy Company. We wouldn't have the ability to support other parents if you didn't choose us. So thank you. It does feel a little bizarre to be accepting the award today, given that we are in a pandemic, and I want to accept the award for all of the entrepreneurs out there, because it is a very tough time for so many businesses. Just like you, we are feeling it too. And I want to thank everybody for the support that they've given us at this tough time. And I want to take this award home for all of the entrepreneurs who are all suffering right now at this time. Once again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
The Burlington Chamber of Commerce is hosting their 2020 Business Excellence Award Gala tonight. I was able to connect with Carla Nell earlier today ahead of the event, and she shared why it's important to host these business award shows despite these social distancing restrictions.
It's been a very difficult time for our business community. There's no question. We've seen a lot of small businesses of all shapes and sizes, struggling to adapt during this unprecedented time. But we've also seen incredible shining examples of leadership across our community in so many ways. And so we felt it was important, much like businesses, to really adapt to these changing circumstances and to give us a moment to stop and really celebrate and recognize the success that defines businesses within Burlington. So onward and forward, we, much like so many other organizations, have innovated and adapted, and our goal is to bring a really unique experience that is also something that is very, very good for our local businesses.
And this virtual event is indeed innovative, and that includes a 3-course dinner and a gift bag, all while enjoying the gala from the comfort of home.
Our goal was not only to celebrate success, but also to reinvest in our local business community. So each ticket holder for this evening's event will be not only part of a live interactive production this evening where we announce the winners. Our finalists were revealed early in March, so much anticipated to see who those outstanding businesses are in various categories. And as well, as part of this evening's experience, every ticket holder is also going to enjoy a beautiful meal catered by one of our local chamber partners, Blend Catering, Edge, Pepperwoods, Paddock, and Nouveau Taste. And then finally, each ticket holder will also receive, they're receiving them now as a matter of fact, a beautiful curated gift bag that's full of products showcasing so many of our wonderful local businesses.
And now we'll look to how the markets did today, including some of our local companies. The latest news from the Burlington Food Bank is up next. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us here on Halton News. I'm Jessica Kading. Good news for the Burlington Food Bank. They've seen an increase in volunteers wanting to help out, which has been much appreciated during this time of greater need.
Recently, we've been hearing from a few different government organizations, and especially recently from Feed Ontario on behalf of the provincial government, kind of wondering how we've been dealing with COVID-19 and whether it's had effect on us as far as client usage, which it has in fact gone up a little bit for us, and as well as donations and whether we've had the support from the community that we need. And again, with Burlington being as great as it's been, we've definitely felt that. And we're one of the agencies that, as we speak with other cities and other food banks, we recognize how blessed we are here in Burlington with such a great community that cares so deeply for the rest of us all around. And so thank you so much for supporting us in that. We've also been able to see that increase not have a great effect on us going forward. In fact, that we're able to look forward and see where we're headed. And that's part of their question as well, is are you prepared for when things start to get a little bit tougher? And we in fact are, because we've been planning ahead, making sure that as things start to go into phase 3, that we start to make a little bit of a shift away from the delivery model into some other areas. And we're always in that sort of regular planning phase, knowing what's next, and maybe not being able to know exactly, but being able to make a little bit of a turn, a little bit of a pivot here and there that we're able to make the adjustments as needed. So looking forward to keeping you up to date as those pivots happen, but for now we're still sticking with the delivery model.
The Townsend Smith Hospice Foundation is hosting free webinars to help the community during these unprecedented times. The first one is coming up on July 15th and is called Grieving a Loved One's Death During COVID, because COVID-19 has changed the way we experience and grieve the death of a loved one. You may not have been able to be by the bedside, mourn together with family and friends, or attend a traditional memorial service. Tune in at noon on July 15th for strategies and coping methods. Register at townsendsmith.ca. Canada's largest Ribfest usually takes place in Spencer Smith Park over the Labor Day long weekend, but due to COVID-19, they've had to pivot their plans. At first, the event was canceled, but now there will be a drive-through Ribfest experience taking place on Canada Day at the Burlington Centre Mall in the parking lot. Festivities begin at 11 a.m. and they're being put on by the Rotary Club of Burlington Lakeshore. 4 award-winning barbecue teams will be in attendance, serving the ribs, pulled pork, and chicken that guests have come to expect from Ribfest. The ribbers coming include Camp 31 Barbecue, Billy Bones Barbecue, Pistol Pete's Smokehouse, and Uncle Sam's Barbecue. There'll also be Eastside Mario's and Blaze Pizza. The event will include live music for guests to enjoy from the comfort and safety of their vehicles. I'd like to thank you so much for watching us here on Halton News Tonight. For more content, we ask you visit us on our website at yourtv.tv. We're also on social media at yourtvhalton on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. For Halton News, I'm Jessica Kading, and I thank you for watching.